Hello, and thank you for joining me. My name is Danielle Somick, and I am the Interim Manager for Travel Study at the UCLA Study Abroad office. Today I'm going to share with you some information about the amazing opportunities to study abroad through UCLA. In this presentation, I'm going to share with you some information about COVID-19 precautions, the basics of faculty-led study abroad programming at UCLA, and some sample program opportunities. UCLA students regularly report that studying abroad was their favorite component of their college experience, and I'm excited to share with you what's going to be happening next for UCLA. Although COVID-19 is on most of our minds, we want to reassure you that travel study is going to be moving forward, even if COVID-19 persists. Summer 2021 programs are scheduled to run, and we have quite a number of locations that are preparing to do so. UCLA is continuously monitoring study abroad and working with other UC schools to make sure that we're planning appropriately and that we're monitoring all of the different resources available to us so that we can run safely and smoothly. IEO is sensitive to student timelines. We're planning to let you know by around March whether or not your program option will be able to run in person, but in the event COVID spikes or there are other logistical challenges that prevent us from traveling, we are creating virtual alternatives for select programs. We sincerely appreciate your flexibility and patience, but we're excited that Study Abroad is back and we're looking forward to you joining us. One minor note of housekeeping, we would encourage you to either renew or go ahead and apply for your passport if you're at all thinking about studying abroad in the next year. Travel study programs have some basic information that I'd like to let you know about so you can prepare accordingly and make a decision about if this is the right program fit for you. UCLA travel study programs run to about 26 different locations across Latin America, Asia, Oceania, and Europe. We regularly combine our UCLA courses with the excitement of traveling and build the programs and even the course content around the location where you will be living. Programs often incorporate a lot of walking tours, meeting with local experts. It could be through a guest lecture or getting some time to network with local businessmen. We offer day trips to other locations nearby and a lot of museum visits. So you're not just studying the material that you're learning, you're also living it on a day-to-day basis. The faculty that lead these programs are UCLA professors and experts in the subject areas that they're teaching. They're really engaged with you and want to spend a lot of quality time with the students. It's a great way to meet UCLA students and students from other locations, as we often have people from other UC campuses or even other universities joining us as well. A few fast facts. Travel study programs range from about 3 to 5 weeks. Most of them are 4 weeks, however. And typically students are earning 8 to 10 units of academic credit. If you're coming from another UC campus, keep in mind this will be UCLA credit. You may need to work with your academic advisors. Enrollment is open to students from any college, and they're not restricted by major or minor. There are very few programs that have prerequisites. Housing is also included in the cost of your program, and sometimes some meals. The specific details on the costs are on each program page. To be eligible for a travel study program, students must be at least 18 years old and have completed high school, so we are open to first-year students. Students must also be in good academic standing on their home campus, which at UCLA is an approximate 2.0 GPA. We're also open to students from other campuses or even outside of the UC system. So if you have friends from other universities and they don't have options for next summer, you're welcome to encourage them to come with us on our programs. You also are required to fulfill any equivalent prerequisite. So even if you're not at UCLA, if your program has a certain level of Spanish required, we'll just ask that you demonstrate that you've met that basic level of Spanish to be able to participate. Registration this year for travel study faculty-led programs will open on Wednesday, November 18th. It will probably open around 8 a.m. in the morning, but the specific details will be noted on our registration page soon. Travel study is open on a first-come, first-served basis. So this means once you fill out the basic registration form, which usually takes 10 or 15 minutes, you have to submit a $200 non-refundable deposit to confirm your place on the program. Once you do that, you are guaranteed to be able to participate and your spot is reserved for you. If you're not able to make the payment right at the registration time, you can go in and submit that later, but please note your spot is not confirmed and other students may take up the remaining places on the program. So we do encourage you to prepare in advance and be ready to make the payment. I've noted the registration link here, but it's also on our website. If you're interested in multiple options, please note you can only register for one program at a time. So you do want to do a little research and look into your options before you commit to a program. Some of them do fill very quickly. So one example I'll share with you later is the Spanish Granada program. For the elementary level track, that program can fill within the first couple of hours. Most programs are not this competitive, but do note that although registration closes on April 2nd, quite a number of programs may be filled before then. Most programs will have a virtual backup option this year, just in case COVID-19 prevents us from traveling. That could be whether there's a U.S. State Department travel warning that prevents us from participating in that program, or possibly if local government regulations do not allow U.S. citizens to enter the country where you're planned to travel. We're going to be looking at this very closely throughout the fall and monitoring the ebb and flow of the COVID-19 virus, but we're optimistic that by next summer, we expect programs may be able to run in quite a number of locations. Just in case they cannot, though, we will be building these virtual options that will have as much engagement and interesting activities beyond just the course instruction. So it won't be just a standard online course. We're hoping to have a lot of additional activities, possible virtual excursions, museum visits, guest lectures, maybe some cooking classes or a film screening, things like that we'll be able to do as a cohort. So we would encourage you, if you're interested, to keep that in mind, that your program may still be running in one format or another, so you do want to be prepared to commit to the program. As soon as we have more information, we'll be passing that along to any registered students. Program fees for study abroad through travel study range from about $4,900 to about $6,500. And this is a big range because there's quite a different number of opportunities available. Some programs travel to multiple locations and cities that have a lot of transportation, or others may be domestic programs based in the United States where your flight and other pieces of it may be less costly. Please note that although the program fee does cover the bulk of your program, there are some additional out-of-pocket expenses. We do not do group airfare, so you're responsible for paying for that on your own. Any spending money, souvenirs, independent travel, if you want to do something in the local city on the weekends. And in some programs, your meals may not be covered either. In places where you do not have meals included, typically you have access to a small kitchen or a kitchenette. Financial aid is also available for eligible students. We recommend that you confirm deadlines through your home financial aid office. Your campus is the office that will have all the aid administered, so you don't need to do anything through UCLA financial aid. You continue to work with your home campus. Non-UCLA students should complete the following steps to be able to maintain your eligibility in financial aid. So after you pay the $200 deposit, you would complete your FAFSA just like normal through your campus, and then make sure that any deadlines to request aid, you fill those out on time. And then by April 2nd, through our office, you submit a non-UCLA financial aid agreement. We'll remind you of all those steps later on, but just keep in mind that there is a process that you'll need to go through to use your aid. I'm going to share a few examples of our program options with you now. For summer 2021, we have 2 tracks of the Spanish Granada program, which is one of our most popular options. This program is a traveling program. It starts in Barcelona for a few days and then goes to Madrid before finally ending up in Granada, Spain in the south in Andalusia. And once you're there, the program has a lot of different excursions. You can visit the Alhambra in the picture to the right. For coursework, you have the ability to choose between 3 different Spanish tracks. Earlier on, I mentioned the elementary track fills very, very quickly. It can be filled by the first day of registration in most cases. but we often have plenty of space for the next couple of weeks after that in the intermediate and advanced tracks. So depending on which session you choose, one will start in June, the other starts in August, so either in session A or towards the end of the summer, session C. If you choose the advanced track, keep in mind that there are different courses taught, whether you're in session 1 or session 2, and I've noted those there below. The elementary and intermediate tracks are exactly the same. It doesn't matter which session you participate in. Some other highlights of this program, they do learn flamenco, so you have the option to participate in a little workshop to teach yourself how to dance. There's lots of engagement with the faculty to different sites. Typically, we also visit Cordoba and Sevilla, so you get to go into a lot of main cities in Spain, honestly. It's a pretty good tour of the country. There's very limited free time, so that's something to keep in mind. You're encouraged to remain in Spain throughout the duration of the program, but if you wanted to go back to Madrid on a weekend and see something there, you might be able to do that. The Sociology New York City program is a really good option for students who either are unable to travel outside of the United States, or if you're looking to keep your budget more conscious for the summer. This program is pretty affordable. It does have housing at NYU, so it's a great option to see another big campus on the East Coast. And it's a really good program for students who are thinking of possible graduate study because your courses are actually taught at CUNY at City University of New York in their Sociology Graduate Center. So good taste of some life on the East Coast, and the program has a huge number of site visits. So they typically do a visit at Google's headquarters in New York City, so you get to meet with a former UCLA student who now works for Google. They also do a meet and greet with the director of a Broadway, either a musical or a play, and in most cases we get to meet the cast after the show. Other things, you get to see like the High Line, you get to go to a lot of different main locations and understand kind of the history and evolution of New York City. Very interactive program and a really good option within the United States. So even if you're not able to go abroad, we still have some options that keep you domestically, and you can still participate in travel study. The History Food program in Rome and Pisa, Italy is a new option for us, so it will be launching for summer 2021. Obviously, with food in the title, we expect this to be a popular option. So the program will have upper division history credit. The exact course numbers are still being finalized at this time, but we expect an update really soon, and we'll post that on the program website. So for the first week, you'll be in Rome, and then you move to Pisa, and there will be a lot of visits to farms or wineries or local places where they produce cheese. So if you're a foodie, this might be a really cool program for you to participate in. It's a 4-week program, and of course you'll get to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Trevi Fountain, lots of really popular landmarks in Italy. Another new program for Travel Study 2021 is the Social Science Interdisciplinary Program in Wellington, New Zealand. This is the first travel study program to Oceania, so we're excited about this option. The program will focus a lot on Maori culture and then colonialism, so how New Zealand was established and then how it gained independence, and then a lot of looking at, from a social science perspective, the complexities of the Maori culture, traditional Maori culture, and then how New Zealand evolved through colonialism to neoliberalism. So both of the courses are upper division classes at UCLA, and they've listed them here. It's another 4-week program as well, and it's a really good location. Although it will be wintertime in New Zealand, it'll be a good location for some outdoor time, some fresh air. So it could be a really interesting program if you're a former Lord of the Rings fan, or if you want to visit the Weta workshop. We're hoping to do that on this program. That wraps up the program highlights that I wanted to share with you. I do want to let you know that if you have any questions about travel study, I'd be happy to discuss this with you further. So we are going to be available Friday, October 30th from 10 a.m. to noon. It'll be a Zoom drop-in advising session, and I've put a QR code here so you can scan the screen and save the date if you'd like to join me. I'd be happy to hear any of your questions and discuss any of the programs you're interested in further. Most of the program information on our website is updated, but we're still continuing to post some things. So by the time the 30th rolls around, hopefully most of the details, except possibly for some of the pricing, will be up on the website. The UCLA Study Abroad office is also available for drop-in advising regularly throughout the week if that time slot doesn't work for you. And you can also email us. I have info@ieo.ucla.edu on the screen here as your email contact. We're currently working remotely, so email is the best way to reach our office at this time. And I've included the link here to the main travel study page on the IEO International Education Office website. If you're interested in following us on social media, we also have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts. And last but not least, if you would like to follow us and hear news about travel study offerings, or maybe you're thinking about going not next year, but summer 2022 or in the future, feel free to sign up here using this QR code for our update email newsletter. Thank you so much for listening to this video, and I hope that we can accommodate you on a travel study program in the future. And feel free to reach out if you have any questions.